Well, it looks like we finally have an answer as to what the Russo brothers were teasing with their cryptic photo, specifically for Avengers Doomsday, because as far as I'm concerned, we still have not figured out or they have not revealed what they were teasing with the cryptic photo for Avengers Endgame. But that's come and gone already. We are here for Doomsday now. They shared their cryptic photo. It said, "Look hard." There were a ton of guesses, theories, speculations, whatever you want to say. Everybody was talking about it. But now an insider claims to know the answer, or at least what the photo is of. And on top of that, what the photo is reportedly of ties in really well to some new plot details that we're getting from another insider for Avengers Doomsday. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. The cryptic photos, they do exactly what Marvel and the Russo brothers want them to do. They get us talking, and if it's like Avengers Endgame, they're not going to reveal what it is for Doomsday. But My Time to Shine Hello, the insider, has revealed what she has heard that this is, and it's a scene that ties into these new plot details. So she states, "I can now reveal that the photo they, the Russo brothers, shared is the set where they shot a scene with Doom and his family in a lab during an experiment that kills them and damages his body." Now, this is not the first time that we've heard Dr. Doom's family dies due to an experiment. We've heard actually kind of different variations of this in other reports. Doom's family dies due to an incursion, or his family dies. I guess technically it would be dying because of an incursion if Doom is trying to build a device to stop incursions, which I believe is what he is doing. Because remember, based on what we have heard, Dr. Doom at first is indeed going to be trying to stop the incursions. Ultimately, I think, like I've mentioned, we get to a part where it's a point of no return. The multiverse is going to be destroyed no matter what. So he decides to do it his way. But originally, he wants to save it. So this experiment that kills them and damages his body is drifting a little bit from Dr. Doom's comic origin. It still works for the MCU because in the comics, the experiment that he is working on that explodes and damages his face is a device to communicate with his mother, who unfortunately at that time is being held in the Hell Dimension by Mephisto, which I really hope they dive into that story in the future of the MCU, because we have Mephisto now and Doom's going to be around in the future. And Strange helps him, Doctor Strange helps him, and Doctor Strange is going to help Doom in Doomsday and Secret Wars. So it's all there to come after. We'll have to wait for that. But it's drifting a little bit, but not entirely, right? So he's doing that in college. Reed tells him not to do it. He warns him about it. Doom doesn't listen. It explodes, scars his face. That's also part of the reason why he really doesn't like Reed. They could tie Reed into this. They could. If he is on the 828 universe and he's trying to solve how to stop an incursion, well, Reed might not have helped him, because I have a theory that while Reed and Doom were in college and working on their separate things, Doom actually sought to go beyond their own universe, while Reed actually sought to go into space, right? Reed barely figured out teleportation in the Fantastic Four First Steps, but I think Doom has figured out how to multiverse travel, especially if he's going to be jumping between universes. It makes sense. Plus, he is supposedly the one who is taking the Fantastic Four ship into the 616 universe in that Thunderbolts post-credit scene. So I think that would check out if my theories were correct, of course. Now, getting killed during the lab experiment that kills them and damages his body, that's obviously how he's going to get his scars in the MCU if this report ends up being true. And they change his origin just a little bit, but it still works. So I think you can have all the pieces there. But the family that he reportedly has, we've heard reports that his family dies in an incursion-related incident, and Doom survives. So technically, Doom building a device to try and stop an incursion is an incursion-related incident. So this still kind of lines up with other things that we have heard. But like I mentioned, it lines up with another big report from Charles Murphy, giving us some big plot details about Avengers Doomsday. We covered something else he said a few days ago. This is new. It is not the same thing. This is a new report from Charles Murphy. This is what he has to say. And again, it ties into that set photo and that scenario, or that scene where Doom loses his family. He states, "Doomsday. Dramatic irony. As has been shared by 30 scoopers already, none of the 616 heroes will see Doom's face, though the audience will, allowing them to have some critical information that should create suspense, and it sounds like the Russos have used it cleverly. I actually like this because it does create suspense. Because they can't hide the fact that RDJ is Doctor Doom, that a person who looks exactly like Tony Stark is Doctor Doom to the audience. They've already announced Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, right? So they can't hide that. But Doom keeping on his mask in front of everybody is very Doom-like. I do like that. He has his mask on for a reason. He doesn't like his scars. He's ashamed of them. He's very... Doom is such a complicated character, but yeah, he's pretty vain. So him having his mask on in front of everybody and not showing his face, he probably tells them, oh, the mask, it helps me, it heals me, it keeps me together. Because we have heard reports that his suit kind of keeps his body together after being damaged from the experiment. So no one would like question him on that. Like, oh, you were in an accident and that suit keeps your body together. Okay, who are we to say otherwise? But in reality, he's very vain and doesn't want people to see the scarring on his face. I'm sure the suit holds everything together, but the mask is different. But when he's not in front of people, he'll take it off. And that's what we will see. We will see those scenes with him taking his mask off. And this does build the suspense because we're all going to be like, okay, when are they going to find out? When will they know that it's a person who looks exactly like Tony Stark? And when they find out, will they think it's Tony? Or will they think it's a variant? Will they be kind to Doom? Ultimately, as we're going to be wondering throughout the entire thing, but ultimately it seems like they're not going to show it. Maybe not until Secret Wars, or maybe not until the climax of Doomsday. I really hope they show us that, the Avengers finding out that it's a person who looks exactly like Tony Stark in Doomsday. But other reports have said not until Secret Wars. But he continues. Civil War 2. I'll editorialize a bit here, but we'll be clear about what was shared and how I'm interpreting it. In Civil War, the death of Howard and Maria Stark at the hands of Bucky are shown to set Tony on the road to becoming Iron Man. It's why he ultimately ends up in the suit. Though Winter Soldier was to blame, Steve also becomes the focus of Tony's ire. In Doomsday, though it sounds as though Loki is at fault for the relocation, that's Loki bringing Captain America to the 828 universe, Captain MacGuffin, Captain America, will be Doom's target, as 30 scoopers have already shared, which, yeah, we have gotten that report before. However, without getting super spoilery here, small details led me to believe that the Russos are going to play on the audience's knowledge of who is behind Doom's mask to lay some rhyming beats out that will make the audience feel a sense of familiarity. Makes sense. Bring in familiarity, feeling, nostalgia. Yep. Audiences love that. Rhyming with Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame will create a sense in the audience that they know what's coming. And I don't mean those of you who follow 30 other scoopers who have already shared all of this, allowing for the Russos to pull the rug hard out from under them. Basically meaning the casual viewers. It'll allow the casual viewers to know what's coming. Obviously, if you're watching this video right now and you've gotten this far into the video, about 9 minutes into the video, you probably keep up with all of this and know what's coming. But he's talking about the casual audience will be able to follow this pretty well. I'm assuming you're going to have to watch Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame to know, but the casual fans should know. And that makes sense. And it's because Marvel has to appeal, to everybody, not just us who are online every day. But then he finishes off by stating, where it caused a lot of consternation among fans, from what I'm seeing, Cap vs. Doom will be very smartly done. Doom's origin, as in the comics, will be tied to his obsession with fixing a problem, not directly tied to Rogers, aka Captain MacGuffin. I like this. His origin is his obsession with fixing a problem, which leads me to believe that that problem, again, is incursions. So in the beginning, he's obsessed with trying to stop them. He's obsessed with trying to save the entire multiverse, and really, in particular, his universe. If he really does have a wife and child, then yeah, I get that. And that's going to make us, honestly, kind of be on his side a little bit more as well. That's going to be something that really pulls on your heartstrings in the movie, because you're going to go, well, he did try to save the multiverse, and he had a family, and he lost that family trying to save the multiverse. And it seems like that the reason that the multiverse is like falling apart and incursions are happening is because of what other people did. Captain America being one of those people. And then Loki as well, which makes him go after Loki. Plus, like I mentioned before, he needs to get Loki out of the way if he wants to control the multiverse for himself. So Captain America staying back in time is what causes an incursion. The reports say that Loki literally shows up and moves him to the 828 universe because the TVA is going to prune that timeline. And then they're going to discover that he's in the 828 universe and he's not supposed to be there, which is again causing an incursion with the 828 universe and the 616 universe, because that's the universe he's originally from. That's in the comics, they set off like a domino effect, like a chain of events, right? So what he did could ultimately lead to the destruction of the 828 universe, which is where I do believe Doom is from. So Doom could have, via his technology or sorcery or whatever it may be, has realized that an incursion was coming for 828, his home, and he was trying to figure out a way to stop it. And in that process, he made a machine and something went wrong and it blows up and kills his family and severely scars him. And Doom will blame Steve Rogers for that. If he is directly to blame for the incursion of his universe with the 616 universe, he will blame Steve. But I think he's also going to blame a lot of other people as well. I think we're going to find out that a lot of our heroes have caused incursions, like SpiderMan, like Doctor Strange. We already know Doctor Strange has caused incursions. So I think this is great. I think the Russo brothers are going to handle this very properly. It sounds really great so far. And I think they're going to really make us feel for Doom, which is great because he's such a powerful villain. And he wins. So that's going to be like a big difference between Infinity War and Doomsday is we might not feel all too bad when Doom wins, right? Because you might root for him at some points in the movie. I think a lot of us are going to root for him because it seems like he legitimately was trying to fix a problem that he did not cause, but other people did. He had a wife, he had a child. Seemed like he was in a pretty happy life, but that obsession, the same one that Tony Stark had, because I do believe they're going to connect them, Doom and Tony Stark, that obsession ultimately leads to, unfortunately, the accident that kills his family and scars him and just sets him on a very different path. So there's going to be a lot of sympathy there. But I do like this. I think they're handling this very, very well. And that scene is reportedly what the Russo brothers have shared, a set photo of that scene that they shot. So if you can look at that and see any clues in there, it looks like, you know, it might be Robert Downey Jr. in that chair. It might be one of the Russo brothers, but it's really kind of hard to make out the rest of it because it's just a massive green screen, right? They're probably going to CGI most of it, but that is reportedly what this is. And those are some new plot details for Avengers Doomsday. Go ahead and let me know what you think about all of that in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Avengers Doomsday and Marvel news. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.